Dear friends, today we have with us Omer Ghazi, who is the author of The Cosmic Dance. Omer, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's amazing to be here. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Omer, tell us about your book. Sounds very interesting. So, if you could tell us a bit more about it.
The cosmic dance, as it's there in the description, that it's my own journey that I have delved into over the years. My journey into science, my journey into literature, and my journey of asking questions of what is going on in this universe. Right? When we say what is going on, we see that all the philosophers throughout history, all the scientists, what everybody is trying to do is trying to understand the basic laws of the universe. Whether there's a physicist, he's trying to understand through physics. Whether there is an artist, he's trying to understand through music. And whether there is a philosopher, there is a spiritual person who is going on in his own journey. So this cosmic dance is my own journey of going into asking the big questions of life. So this is about that.
Yeah, and of course, the title is very interesting because the cosmic dance is generally related to Bhagwan Shiv, and we know that you have an interest there as well. Can you tell us a bit more about it? And I think you have traveled to the Himalayas as well.
Yes, I keep traveling. I believe that traveling is one thing that opens up your mind like nothing else. Like you can read a book about a place, you can read a book about a particular culture or tribe of people, or but when you go there and you meet those people and you sit with them and you learn about their lives, it changes your perception. It opens up your mind. आपका जो cross culture interaction है, I think that is very very important for your own growth, not anything else, but your own growth. It is very very important. So I have been writing poetry for almost 10 12 years since I would say high school. But this whole book has poems from that time only. When I was 16, I wrote a poem called "The Buddha Smiled." It was on the life of Mahatma Buddha, and how he's smiling, and he has attained nirvana, he's attained moksha through his practices. So I have had an interest in Indic philosophy since childhood, but it was only recently that I discovered Adi Shankaracharya and uh, the Nirvana Shatakam and what Shiva means. So that was unbelievably interesting and mind boggling. So I just named this book The Cosmic Dance because I felt uh, related to that thousands of years of tradition of understanding this universe. Like the cosmic dance also talks about the ultimate creation and destruction of this universe again and again.
Sure.
So that this whole yeah so that whole process is something that I have denoted in this book also.
Would you say that there's something, being in India, the mysticism, the spiritualism, that it basically, it, it's basically a journey of finding the true nature of reality. I mean, is that something that you experienced as well? That basically you are, the philosophy and the traditions, they're basically looking at finding the true nature of reality.
It is, and I would also say that it is something sad that we do not know about this, especially people in the younger generation. We do not know what has been done in this country for thousands of years, and why it has been called the land of answers or land of seekers, and people from all over the world have been coming to this place asking questions that what is going on, and they have sought guidance and they have found some sort of guidance here. So the whole process, the whole uh, for millennia, it has been a tradition. The guru shishya tradition has been that every guru is trying to help their students to understand a little more, to give them a little more guidance of how the universe came to be and what are the basic laws of nature. वो कौन से लॉज हैं जिन पर हमारी सोसाइटी बिल्ड हुई है. So this is a very descriptive nature of reality. Instead of prescribing कि आपको ऐसा करना चाहिए, वैसा करना चाहिए, ये होना चाहिए, आपको वैसा होना चाहिए. More than that, it is more of a descriptive nature. कि they are trying to describe the society, describe the reality. So
mm,
this is the kind of tradition that I got interested in,
mm,
and I realized that this is a tradition that should go on,
mm,
because I recently tweeted about this also, that when we think about ancient civilizations, so there were great civilizations in all parts of the world. ठीक है, चाइना में अपनी उनकी एंशियंट सिविलाइजेशन थी. Egyptians had a different way of understanding things than Mesopotamian, then Mesoamerican and Indian Indus Valley civilization. So out of all these, they were having their own independent strands of thought. अपने अपने तरीके हैं सबके. But
mm,
we see that Indian civilization has an unbroken chain of Guru Shishya
absolutely.
tradition, which
Sure.
is going on even today. Which is
Yeah.
going on even today, and the same strand of thought is so. My question was, why is that so? What is so special? What is different from other civilizations that we are going on and on, despite so many invasions and people coming in and plundering and everything happening? But what is going on here? So what I have come up with is that, number one, there is that freedom to choose your own truth. That is one. And
Mm,
number two is the power of using poetry and music and rhythm to preserve knowledge.
yeah.
वो चीज मुझे बहुत ज्यादा कहीं और शायद नहीं मिली. डेफिनेटली है, बहुत जगह है,
Mm,
ग्रीक्स में भी पोइट्री का बहुत अच्छा ट्रेडिशन था. बट जितना रिच ट्रेडिशन यहाँ पर मिलता है आपको पोइट्री का और रिदम का, बिकॉज इट
mm,
हेल्प्स टू प्रिजर्व इट थ्रू जनरेशन, थ्रू ओरल ट्रेडिशंस. अगर आपके पास
mm,
रिटन रिकॉर्ड्स नहीं है बहुत चीजों की, बट देर आर
mm,
सम सूक्तास, देर आर सम सूत्रास दैट वी हैव going on for thousands of years. So I think वो जो ट्रेडिशन है, that has helped us
mm,
survive all the
mm.
onslaught. तो मुझे वो चीज काफी इंटरेस्टिंग लगी, एंड सिंस आई एम इंटरेस्टेड इनटू म्यूजिक आल्सो, तो वो चीज मुझे काफी रिलेटेबल लगती है.
I mean, you've made a really profound point here, Omar. I must say that why you believe that that our civilization has survived, and freedom of thought, and especially the role of music and rhythm and literature. I mean, it's quite
Hmm.
incredible. And what would you like to say to youngsters, because you are young yourself, and perhaps हमारी जनरेशन में और हमारे जो यंगस्टर्स है, ज्यादातर लोगों को इस बात का की अनुभूति नहीं है कि हमारा ट्रेडिशन, हमारी संस्कृति कितनी पुरानी और कितनी रिच है, और बेसिकली कि उसमें जो एक स्वतंत्रता है, एक फ्रीडम है टू चैलेंज आइडियाज, टू
Hmm.
चैलेंज थॉट. वो तो उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताइए कि यंग लोगों से आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे, जो भी दर्शक होंगे हमारे, whoever is watching this.
So जो भी हमारे यंग जनरेशन है उनको, the first problem that we have come up with is, which I have realized, is of course the colonial hangover, the
Mm,
colonial mindset. ठीक
mm,
है, इतना ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम हमारे ऊपर हम फेस कर चुके हैं एज अ सोसाइटी फ्रॉम
mm,
आउटसाइड,
mm,
दैट एंड वी हैव बीन ब्रेन वॉश्ड इनटू थिंकिंग कि
mm,
जितना भी कुछ अच्छा यहाँ पर है, दैट इज
mm,
बिकॉज ऑफ फॉरेन इन्फ्लुएंस.
mm,
ठीक है, चाहे वो प्रोग्रेसिव वैल्यूज हों, चाहे वो मॉडर्निस्टिक एलिमेंट्स हों, या पोइट्री हो, या ब्यूटी हो, या एस्थेटिक्स हो, आर्किटेक्चर हो, वो सब बाहर से ही आया है.
mm, mm, mm,
तो ये एक तो बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम हमारे पास है, बिकॉज ऑफ आर द वे आर हिस्ट्री टेक्स्ट बुक्स आर रिटन, उसमें भी थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग ये
mm,
पूरी हिस्ट्री खराब है, बट देयर
mm.
इज सम प्रॉब्लम इन द हिस्ट्री टेक्स्ट बुक्स
Sure,
ऑल्सो.
sure, sure.
तो वो एक पॉइंट है, द कॉलोनियल माइंडसेट. उस
Mm,
कॉलोनियल माइंडसेट से बाहर आना है.
mm,
नंबर टू, द प्रॉब्लम विच आई हैव रियलाइज्ड इज कि द पीपल हु आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द एंशियंट इंडिक हेरिटेज,
mm,
वो
mm,
गलती ये करते हैं दैट दे से कि जितना भी कुछ दुनिया में साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी है वो इंडिया से ही आया था. पुराने
mm,
इंडिया में जो है सारा टेक्नोलॉजी पहले से मौजूद था, विच इज
mm,
ऑल्सो अगेन रॉन्ग. ठीक है,
mm.
तो देर इज अ मिडिल पाथ बिटवीन द टू. यू डोंट हैव
Sure,
टू से कि यहाँ पे सब कुछ था, एंड ये भी कहना ठीक नहीं है. ऑफ कोर्स देर आर द रेनेसांस मूवमेंट इन यूरोप हैज इट्स ओन इम्पोर्टेंस. वो
absolutely.
मॉडर्निस्टिक ह्यूमन राइट्स वैल्यूज को उसने हम तक पहुंचाया, उसमें कोई शर्म की बात नहीं है कहने में.
Absolutely. जी,
ठीक
जी.
है, एंड द डेमोक्रेटिक वैल्यूज एंड दिस एंड दैट, आर्किटेक्चर, सब चीज बाहर से भी अच्छी आई हैं, एंड वी हैव टू एक्सेप्ट दैट. बट एट द सेम टाइम वी हैव टू रियलाइज दैट देयर हैज बीन अ वेरी रिच a tradition of knowledge in the country which has been, there have been attempts to destroy it sometimes, और लेकिन तब भी वो preserved रहा,
जी
because the knowledge has been preserved in a very beautiful forms and through
जी
beautiful stories. ठीक
हम्म
है, आप शिव पार्वती की स्टोरी पढ़ते हैं, there's a beautiful love story there,
जी
right? But
जी
जिन लोगों को वो लव स्टोरी पता है, उसके पीछे जब आप उसको डीप में स्टडी करेंगे, यू गो इनटू डिबेट्स अबाउट कॉन्शियसनेस, अबाउट नेचर. The
जी
relation between the two is the relation between the human consciousness, or consciousness itself, not human consciousness, consciousness itself and the nature and this
जी
universe. वहां से फिर आप वेदांता में चले जाते हैं. There is the Advait Vedanta, there is the Dvait Vedanta, there is, so there are different strands of thought behind those beautiful stories. So
बिल्कुल
I would ask youngsters to not fall prey to this colonial mindset कि देर यहाँ पे सब एक ट्राइबल मेंटालिटी के लोग रहते थे, एंड यहाँ पर कोई ऐसा मॉडर्निस्टिक थॉट नहीं था, कोई डेमोक्रेटिक वैल्यूज नहीं थी, कोई हार्मोनी प्लुरलिस्टिक वैल्यूज नहीं थी. आई थिंक वी नीड टू कम आउट ऑफ इट एंड वी नीड टू स्टडी मोर ऑन आवर ओन. एक अपना
जी
एनालिसिस होना जरूरी है. यू शुड स्टडी फॉरेन historians and philosophers. You should study Hellenistic philosophy, your own philosophy, and then make your own analysis. So that is my message to the youngsters.
जी एंड जैसे आपने एक बहुत अच्छी बात की. आई मीन ऑफ कोर्स देयर इज अ ग्रेट ट्रेडिशन ऑफ नॉलेज इन द कंट्री, नॉट जस्ट इन मेटाफिजिक्स और philosophy but also in science. I mean, India has a phenomenal tradition of science, things like zero being discovered here, invented in India, or shushrutu. I mean, things that we really, बहुत ही superficial तरीके से हमें बताई गई है. बहुत सारी ऐसी
Hmm.
discoveries और inventions इंडिया में हुई. बट एज यू सेड एट द सेम टाइम ये भी नहीं है कि सिर्फ यही हुआ. दूसरे कल्चर्स और जो जैसे आपने यूरोप की बात की, जो मॉडर्निस्टिक थॉट है, तो इट हैज टू बी अमेल्गमेशन. एंड आई थिंक जो मेरी एक अपनी ओपिनियन है कि यू हैव टू गो बाय फैक्ट्स. जो आपके पास तथ्य हैं उनके ऊपर आपको
Right.
जाना होता है जो आपके सामने है. बट इट्स वेरी वेरी हार्टनिंग टू नो दैट अ यंगस्टर लाइक यू, आपने इतना इस पे रिसर्च किया है, आप इतने डेप्थ में गए हैं, एंड यू हैव मेड सम रियली वैलिड पॉइंट्स. So, Omer,
Hmm.
just to conclude, Omer, आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे? Just as a final thought, I'm sure we are going to have more interviews with you, but as a final thought, आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
So the final thought is that, of course, I just want this message to go forward through this book also and through this interview also, that one should find his own way. In one sentence, you have to come up with your own way of understanding reality, of your own. If you, that is called the spirituality. Spirituality
जी
का मतलब ही ये है that you realize that all the knowledge that I have, it is borrowed, and I need to go on my own experiences and build my ideology on my own experiences, not on borrowed knowledge. So my message is that you accumulate knowledge from wherever it comes. Uska source koi bhi ho. You just take the facts, like you said, take the knowledge, make your own analysis, and then build your ideology around it. Aapki ideology. Somebody asked me, "What is your ideology in one word?" I said individualism. So I think individualism is the ultimate freedom that one should have. We have to accumulate knowledge from all sources, whether it is foreign source, indigenous source, or some friend, some guru, some teacher, whatever. You have to accumulate knowledge and do your own analysis and build your life ideology around it. तो हमारी जो पूरी लाइफ आइडियोलॉजी है, वो पूरी आइडियोलॉजी किसी और से बोरोड 100% नहीं हो सकती और ना होनी चाहिए. So anybody who tries to say that you have to live your life according to these lines and angles, so one has to go out of it. And that is the message of this book also, the title. And the Indic philosophy also talks about the ultimate liberation of soul. तो लिबरेशन क्या है? दैट यू हैव टू फाइंड योर ओन वे टू कनेक्ट विद द कॉन्शियसनेस ऑफ दिस यूनिवर्स. सो that is also my message, and this book is a very small uh, addition in the tradition that has been going on for so long. And I hope this sparks people to read about the pearls of wisdom hidden in our own heritage. So that is my message, and thank you so much again for having me. It's been wonderful coming here.
जी Thank you so much, Omar. It's been lovely speaking with you, and I am sure we'll interview again in the future. Best of luck with the book. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot.